Hi everyone, RedneckComputerGeek here. In today's video on the Mud Wizard build, we're going to be taking a first generation steering box like this and a first generation steering frame, and we're going to be replacing it with a second generation box like this. Now, a lot of people have said that it pretty well bolts right in. Unfortunately, after laying out a few schematics, I found out that was almost the case. Also, we ended up hiring a new crew member that's somewhere in this video. When you end up seeing the new crew member, write me down a name for it later on in the comments below. Alright, so at this point, I'm going to grab the camera and we're going to freehand so I can show you the couple of things that we ran into and the few different design flaws that are going on here, and progress from there on getting the box installed. Alright, so let's talk about this as if we're currently sitting at the steering wheel looking down at this. And so what we have here is we have the original chassis that's a second gen, and we've got our second gen steering. Now when you bring it up out, you pull it like this and tip it up sideways and it comes out. So if we pull this out and set it aside, we've now got this. And what you'll see here is I've got 1, 2, 3 holes that are circled. And the reason being is because this and this and this all exist on both chassis. Now that's key because they give us points that we can line up from. This hole and this hole do not exist and need to be created, along with obviously these. So what I did from here, if I can get it away from him, is I created this. And what I did was I went over the top and I scraped over so I could tell exactly where the holes are, and I marked off everything. Now slowly pan over this. So there we are. And then what I did from there was I created this one. Thank you. So this one here, as you can see, lines up with the holes here, and it gives you the exact pinpoints to be able to put the holes through that you need to drill. And so we went from this to this. So with these numbers, anybody should be able to draw up a template exactly the same as this. And then from there, we can come over to this new chassis, rather this first gen chassis, which as you can see right here, I've taken the liberty of going in and checking this spot here. Now this is where your first gen steering normally would be. So we're going to take this up and out, and then we're going to go through with this and set it in. We've got an arrow for forward and sketch it out. Now once we had it sketched out, we found we need to drill one here. We found right here and that we need to fill this in order to be able to drill one there. And we've got to cut out holes for this. And what I discovered while I was messing around here was that a caulking tube is exactly the right size for the holes. So that gives you your dimensions to be able to cut it out. So you can do this with a grinder, you could do it with all kinds of different cutoff wheels. I happen to have a plasma cutter, so we're just going to do it that way to save time. And this is circled because this is where your idler wheel is in underneath, which would be this particular wheel here. So it's got the pressure nut on top and it goes through like that. So here we go. We're going to grab plasma cutter, blow this out, and then go from there. Okay, so what I wanted to show and note here is that this hole lines up, this hole lines up, and we need to drill this, and we need to put a plate in here, and then drill this one out. Now the other thing is on a first gen you got this right here that sticks up, and if you watch, it does not interfere with the turning of the gear. So you don't have to cut this out and finish it down, but that's what I intend to do. I intend to cut this off and then put a plate in here and then drill my hole. I think it'll be stronger that way. Alright, so we welded a plate in. We got it all nice and flush at this point. And we have our template here that we created earlier. So what we know is that from one bolt hole to the other is 3 inches and 3/4. So that gives us the ability to sit here and measure from the center of the bolt through the center of this bolt and then mark it. In order to drill this hole, we're going to try our new tool that we got. This is a Tacklife drill. They're a German company that's actually working on coming to the United States, and I reached out to them in order to take a look at their cool little 12-volt setup. It's lithium, it's got a charge indicator that's built right into it, and it's got a flashlight on it. One thing I think is cool is that if it's in neutral and you hold it down, you've got your flashlight for looking around. And we're going to try that out today and see how well it does. So thank you, Tacklife, for letting us try this. We're going to use it on a lot of builds here. What we've got now is we've got a 3/8, and we're going to chalk that up. Whoop, we're going to have to set it for drill mode. First time ever using this, so there we go. Chalk that up. And we're going to find some tap magic to put on where the holes need to go. And let's get this little drill a go. There we go, that was pretty good. There we go, that cut right through that weld pretty good. Now these are actually the DeWalt metal cutting bits, and I love them. I use them all the time for this kind of stuff. But let's see if we got those holes correct. Yes, I get it. Are you done now? Can I talk to them? Okay, I tell you, this new one, he won't shut up. So, we've got our second generation installed now. And as it is, the pivot is here for the steering point. And on our first gen, the pivot was further back, and it was at a different angle. So what you're going to need to do at this point is you're going to need to take your first generation arm, you're going to have to cut it off, you're going to have to bring this piece up, turn it 90 degrees, set it in, I get it, and then from there, you'll be able to weld it in place once you're positive you have everything squared off. I'm not going to be doing that in this video because I'm going to be setting up a twin I-beam suspension in mine. It's a new design that I'm working on for this particular build. But that should be the info you need for you to be able to finish installing your standard front end for a Craftsman on your machine. Have fun, guys. If this video was helpful for you, please give me a like, give me a comment, give me other things you want to see me doing. And by the way, make sure that you comment what you think Chatterbox's name should be. Have a good day.